Throwing now is Murray. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be second and a couple.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
Throwing again on second down. Murray into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Marcus May with a pick. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
It goes without saying, but I'm going to say it anyway. That's a ball he would like to have back, and it lands right in the lap of the defender from there. He didn't have very far to go before he gets to the end zone, and he got there in a hurry.
Extra point right down the middle, and it's now a 7-0 game. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And they're going to start in a hole as he's brought down at the 11. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. Murray trying again after the pick six. This one brought in by Jefferson. That catch good for only a couple. To throw again on second down. Murray, he's going to loft one deep over the middle. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down.
A top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL, so when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Now Murray. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And that's well executed there on third down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
First carry now for the former Badger, Jonathan Taylor. And he works his way forward for a couple up past the 30. These two teams, you may remember, they met in Minnesota earlier in the year with the Vikings coming out victorious. So if they can win here in Minnesota, they get a sweep of the season series. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. To throw, it's Murray. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line. And not the first quarter that he was hoping for. Now 2 interceptions thrown.
Well, the good ones, they find a way to compartmentalize, right? Put these behind them, have that short memory, but understand why they threw the 2 interceptions. They go on and usually play a pretty decent game. Other quarterbacks, they have a hard time getting past it and often put the ball up for grabs the rest of the ball game.
And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. Now, Mariota eluding the pressure right. And he slings one that's incomplete.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Play action now. Mariota. Got his man. That's the Pro Bowler Julio Jones. First carry for James Conner. And he stopped immediately there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. For this, the second meeting of these two teams. You might recall they met back in Week 5. And it was the Vikings who won that one on the road, so they'll look for the sweep here in Minneapolis. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. Forced out to his left. And this is caught at the 8. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. Conner is in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Early on, they have all facets of the game working in tandem.
Yeah, you get the defensive touchdown early, give you the first score, and then your offense piggybacks on top of that and gets their own. And any coach we've ever talked to, and we've had that conversation with them prior to the game, they always say, you know, if we can score on defense or special teams, that gives us like a 95% chance of winning the game. I don't know if that number's correct, but it certainly does tend to play out that way, doesn't it?
It does. Point after, right down the middle. And that'll make the score 14-0. To the touchdown, Sloman to do the kickoff honors. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. To this point, the results have not been good. 2 possessions, 2 turnovers.
And that's obviously something that can't continue, but to go a little bit deeper on that one, I would think about some play calls now, not even necessarily to my best player, but to someone I can trust with the ball. Try and get things set.
And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. After the sack on first down, Murray. Oh, they've intercepted Murray for the 3rd time. Picked up by... And it's out. He put it on the carpet. And now off to the races down the right side. He's at the 30. 10. And he will score. Touchdown, Chicago. Jonathan Taylor Touchdown number 15 on the year. And the Bears draw a bit closer.
Now that's got to be so disappointing for a defense. You force the fumble, think you got a chance at a turnover, and instead, not only do you give up the football, you also give up a touchdown as well.
Yeah, you just think to yourself, you've done all the hard work, right? You forced the fumble, but when they didn't come up with it, I think they relaxed a little bit or maybe lost their focus as well, and it ended up turning out to be a touchdown against them.
So here are the Bears now as they'll go for 2. It appears they're going to throw for it with Murray. And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete. So unable to throw it in for 2 from the 2. Let me ask you, as a former DB, what changes there around the goal line on a 2-point conversion as far as how you're defending?
You just make sure you never back up and you never retreat. You establish yourself really on the line of scrimmage, put your heels on the goal line at worst, and if they're going to throw the ball, make them throw it over your head because they're going to run out of space because of the back of the end zone. Never let a guy catch one in front of you.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
First and 10 at the 47-yard line. He'll find his tight end. That's Waller. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line, tackled there. So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10, right at the 40.
Looking again for Waller, and he's got him again.
And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34. Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 34-yard line. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. They'll need to get it to the 30 for a first. This is 3rd down. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. And they're going to go for it here on the 4th down try. Mariota's going to stay out there. Mariota to throw it. Able to find Waller. That's complete. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes, your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Play fake. Mariota. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Marcus Mariota keeping it himself from a yard out. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead.
Out for the PAT. Here's Sloman.
It's up and good, and that'll make the score 21-6.
After the touchdown, Sloman to do the kickoff honors. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further.
Bears offense ready to go for their next drive.
I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2 minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do. A deep ball down that right sideline, and he made sure that he put it where either his guy was going to catch it or no one was.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Out of the gun, here's Murray. And he comes back with one complete. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. We are in for a good one as we're through one on EA Sports. First down, Murray. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Well, we always talk about how you've got to be quick when you go through your progressions, and here's another prime example. Trying to look downfield, he was standing in the pocket, but just couldn't find anyone open, could he?
No, not enough time. They hit him and forced that incompletion. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. Murray now to throw. Buying time to his left. They're going for Jefferson downfield. And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Now Murray again. Oh, they've intercepted Murray for the 3rd time. Isaiah Simmons picking it off. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. On 1st and 10 is Conner. Finding room to the 20. And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15. A lot of running backs, a little bit of a disadvantage when you start talking MVP. Might not be the case this year. You think he's got a shot, don't you?
I do. I think he's got more than a shot. But what he's going to need here down the stretch this late in the season, he needs that big closing game, that game that we're all going to reflect on and go, oh, my goodness, did he put up a number, let's say 200 plus?
And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage back at the 17. So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. Now Mariota. Flushed out right. And it's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Mecole Hardman there to make the grab. And the Vikings are able to add on to their first half lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead opens up now to 22 points. After the touchdown, Sloman to do the kickoff honors. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Now on 2nd and 13. Murray flush to his right. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
On 1st and 10, here's Murray. Escaping the pressure right. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down. 2 minutes gone by, 2nd quarter. And now Murray's going to set up to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Isaiah Simmons picking it off. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. That pick six extending this lead even further. Boy, it's been a while since I've seen a team struggle this badly in the first half.
I think all they want to do is get to the locker room, try and regroup, and come out to start the third quarter. But things don't improve fast then. I think the backups get a lot of play in the second half.
Extra point right down the middle. And a rout is on here in this first half. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And they gave up the pick six, and now they'll be looking to right the ship here. Now, as a quarterback, are you a little more cautious this go-around?
You should be, just because after what you gave up, but you can't be so cautious as to just really take things in, and now you're not going to play loose enough to give your team a chance to score. But you still have to be careful because those defensive guys, I know the reputation defense guys can't catch. All evidence to the contrary on that last possession now.
Meanwhile, Murray's throw taken in by Sutton. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A big connection on that one. 35 yards. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Here's Murray. Now this will be swung out wide for Taylor. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35. from the gun on third down. Murray. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by L'Jarius Sneed. And the Vikings force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it can be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the groove that they're in at this stage of the game.
That's caught by Waller out left side. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Something we're seeing more of with the rise of the run-pass option. A legal man downfield, and that's going to back him up. Steps away to his left. Now he'll let it go on the run. Deep left side. And the defense loses him. It's complete. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. Eluding the pressure right. That's complete to his tight end, Waller. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. We'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Pat Surtain. And they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line. So they elect to decline it.
And why not? Just go ahead and let the play stand, and they'll take that.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Murray going to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball, they've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks like the people just leave the candy out at Halloween and you take what you want. They're having a blast out there playing against him today.
The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And now here's another interception. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And he'll take this across midfield and inside the 45. The number 7 usually lucky here. Not for him. 7 picks he's thrown in this game. That's only happened 6 times since 1960.
And I know that the most recent time it happened, the guy who threw him, he won a Heisman Trophy in college. So sometimes you just have a lousy game. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad career. But when you're talking about one game, 7, you're right, not lucky at all.
Yeah, Ty Detmer, the last to do it in 2001, to throw 7 picks. That one caught out wide by Julio. And he's taken down inside the 30.
Andrew Thomas, former first-rounder from Georgia, called for the penalty there.
And a quick shuffle pass here is complete. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a 2nd and long. Off the play fake, Mariota taking a deep shot here for Hardman.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Pat Surtain. And the Bears will take over possession here up at the 44.
Well, when you start thinking of guys that are in the mix for Defensive Player of the Year, I think you use him as Exhibit A. Maybe he's not the leading guy right now, but he's at least on the periphery and deserves to be in the discussion.
And because of that, he's looking at a game today where in order to make that big move and maybe become the guy, he needs multiple takeaways, multiple big plays, things that get our attention and reverberate for weeks to come.
And my goodness, another interception. It's the former Patriot Devin McCourty. There he goes, right side. And he will be brought down as time is now run out on this first half of action. So we have come upon halftime here in Week 17 as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Final adjustments being made for the second half. Whether they'll amount to much in a game that's already pretty well decided, well, that's another question. Nevertheless, let's get you back out to Brandon and Charles.
Okay, Coach, thanks. Yeah, that's something to consider. Are we in for more one-way traffic here in the second half? It has not been a competitive game to this point.
The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway.
And it's hard to imagine that the first half could have gone any better for them. So what's the approach here in the second half?
Just continue to play smart football because they got the other team down and they feel good about the position they're in. The obvious thing people would say is just keep attacking, but I think you also have to be smart about it. Avoid turnovers. That's about the only thing that can derail you at this point. Attack, but make sure you take care of the ball.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. To throw is Mariota. And he'll dump this off to his running back, McCaffrey. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. Working out of the gun, Mariota rolling to his right, and that will be incomplete. So good work there on the defensive side for the first drive of the second half.
Yeah, and until their offense can get into rhythm, their defensive players and staff have got to say to themselves, we've got to make it work. We've got to stand in here and make sure nothing else happens until our guys start moving the ball.
Now on 4th down, we've got a whistle here and a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. Here's Sam Martin now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. And now the punt team couldn't get ready in time, and this is going to be a delay. That's going to set them back 5 yards. Now let's see how the offense still out there. They elect to go on 4th and 11. They're indeed going. It's Mariota. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he is finally out of bounds, but not before taking it down inside the 30. And a really unbelievable play there on 4th and long. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Mariota again. Flushed out right. The ball comes out, but this will fortunately wind up out of bounds. A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A 1st down, a 16-yard gain. Mariota. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
And let's face it, you can put any Halloween costume on him. You're not going to be able to disguise him because for a tight end of his size, difficult to sneak him anywhere, but that's what they tried to do. Lined up on his right, tried to work his way back to his left, but just a minimal gain as the defense was able to react quickly.
On 2nd down, it's Conner, and that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line. Again, it's Conner. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. James Conner, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Vikings take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Sam Sloman now for the point after. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. After the touchdown, Sloman to do the kickoff honors. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And last time, one-play interception, so this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good
Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Eric Armstead in there to bring him down, and that is sack number 17 now on the season. Throwing on second and long. Murray. Over the middle, that's caught by Ross. The reception good for 7. It's third down. From the gun, Murray. He completes this to Sutton. And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the first as the tackle is made at the 33. They're going for it. It's Murray. And now here's another interception. Isaiah Simmons picking it off. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. And this is one heck of an individual performance we're witnessing. That is now his third interception. And keep in mind, folks, this isn't a safety or a cornerback. This is a linebacker.
Does this feel to you like he's having a flashback? Because a lot of these linebackers we see in the NFL, in high school, they were offensive stars. They touched the football all the time. It's like he said to himself, let's go back and put on the leather jacket and go get the football. How about this one? 3 interceptions thus far.
Conner going to get it again on second down. He's got the first down inside the 10. And he'll finally be taken down at the 2-yard line. 55 rushing yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot. McCaffrey. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Christian McCaffrey. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the interception by the Vikings D leads to a touchdown. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead will swell by 1 more. After the touchdown, Sloman to do the kickoff honors. And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. Now a hit and a loose football. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
And a nice run past the 30-yard line there. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
I'd say it's pretty good strategy. If you throw interceptions on back-to-back drives, let's see if the running backs can handle the ball a little bit, get things going, and also you motivate your offensive line. I think they're in the mood to fire out and hit someone.
I thought the defense, though, might be a little more prepared for that run. Pretty good gain on the ground. From the 31, Murray. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore. And the return will stop right around the 25. This defense, Charles, coming up with another interception. They have really done an excellent job of locking up these receivers.
Yeah, they're really on fire. They are actually doing what they talk about all the time, which is plastering to receivers when they're in their zones. They didn't give up a touchdown the first half. Haven't done so here in this half either. Blanketed the field going all the way back to the opening drive, and they come up with a pick, right?
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Just a terrific run there, Charles, from a running back who is so compact and powerful, and that strength was on display there.
And as a former defender, I can tell you with certainty, those are the ones that have you losing sleep at night. I would not like to be in that film room on Tuesday going over that one. Just a pretty poor effort defensively, and it leads to a big play.
After the touchdown, Sloman to do the kickoff honors. And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think...
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a 2nd and very long. Another try after the first down sack. Murray going deep downfield for Ross. And that's caught inside the 35. And all the way down to the 26. A huge play there for Chicago. Throwing on first down is Murray. Out to his left. Oh, he's got a man wide open. Complete. Touchdown. A great effort there. His 19th touchdown now on the season. And the Bears claw one back. Extra point forthcoming. So they get one score back, but still a long ways to go here in this third quarter.
Bears 13. Matthew White set to kick off.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Taken at the 15, a short kick. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it out past the 30. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They begin on the ground here with Connor. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
Connor going to get it again on 2nd down.
Across the 30 to the 31-yard line.
He's brought down at the 31. That's a gain of 2. Brings up 3rd and 12.
On play action, Mariota. Airing this one out for Evans. It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Vikings.
his third touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings get another third-quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and that will extend this big lead. After the touchdown, Sloman to do the kickoff honors. Well, here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. Doesn't matter where you start with the football now, they have to feel great about their opportunity.
Now a throw here to his running back. That catch good for only a couple.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay gain.
From the 16, Murray. He'll find his man. That's Taylor again. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. 3 quarters in the books. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Murray now on first down. And now here's another interception. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. Yet another mistake after the interception there. And gosh, you look up at the scoreboard, they just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilation and laughter. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8.
Again, a run with Conner. A first down for Conner and then some. And finally wrestled down at the 8-yard line. Mariota on the move to his left. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Marcus Mariota with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Vikings are closing in on a 3rd straight win as they widen the gap further here in the 4th quarter. Extra point right down the middle, and the lead will swell by 1 more. After the touchdown, Sloman to do the kickoff honors. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And he's probably realizing he should have stayed in the end zone as he can only muster a return to the 14-yard line. Charles, this one not over, certainly, but you set the magic number earlier in this game at 20 points, said that they would need to hold them right around that marker under it. What are you seeing here?
Well, that number is still in play because we said, okay, 20 or under gives them a chance to win. Right on pace for being in that range. And guess what? they've got a shot.
He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line boring down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
First and 10, Taylor now. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards. A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Play fake. Murray sliding out of the pocket. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. The Bears on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. And a pretty nice tackle there, ranging up from his free safety spot as he'll stop him about a yard short. They'll run for it. It's Taylor, and he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. On play action, it's Murray. They'll roll him out right. On the run, he'll let it go deep, right sideline. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
I know he was trying to get the completion downfield, but the way this game has gone, with a few of the runs he's made along the way, he should have kept the ball and taken it with his feet downfield. That's the big play that shreds the defense. Instead, he thought to himself, I'm a quarterback. I've got to throw it. He bailed out the defense with that incompletion.
Oh, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down. It's been a pretty long drive. This will be play number 9. And they need 10 yards out of it on 3rd. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. Taylor. And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll, in fact, tackle him behind the line. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. So very close to a turnover there in the end zone.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
The Bears on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 11. Here's Murray as he sets to throw it. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by the linebacker, Miles Jack. And the Vikings are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line. Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And the scoreboard just lopsided, and it's been ugly from the get-go. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. Catch is made by Hardman. Touchdown, Vikings! For McCole Hardman, I mean, he was the only guy with 2 of the top 10 fastest runs in all of 2019, and he's showing that was no fluke. He was moving there.
And that's the kind of play where you have to kind of catch your breath afterwards and just give me a second here, because when he shifted into high gear, he was an absolute blower out there. No substitute for speed. We talk about that all the time. The evidence was right there.
This is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And in enemy territory last time through the interception. We'll see what they do on this drive.
Can't wait to see how it alters what they decide to do in play calling.
He's got a man, complete. And he is finally out of bounds across midfield at the 40-yard line. A huge play there for Chicago. So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. A give for Taylor running right side. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
2nd down, another run with Taylor. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1. The Bears on 3rd down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. To throw, it's Murray. Got an open man, finding Jefferson. And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to convert on 3rd and short yardage with a gain of 4.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
2nd and 9. Throwing now is Murray. Flush to his right. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. He'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down. Shotgun now from Murray. Open man is Taylor. He's got it. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it.
And now they'll empty the backfield here as they elect to go for 2. It appears they're going to throw for it with Murray. And the Bears are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. He hits the big target for the 2-point try. Defenses hate those guys, especially around the goal line.
It's hard to decide who you're going to put on him. Are you going to put a smaller corner on him? Are you going to put a safety who doesn't have maybe the same coverage skills? How about a linebacker? He may have the size, but he's not used to really covering in space. That's why the tight end gives you such a great advantage when you're throwing the football.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They're looking at a 3rd straight win here if they can hold on. They got his man complete. And he finally goes down, but not before reaching the 21. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. On the counter, it's Connor. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Mariota here to throw. There's a diving catch right side. Well, they mentioned this week, Charles, they had a couple kinks on offense that they wanted to fix. I would say they're pretty well fixed.
There's no doubt about that. I mean, just about everything they've run has been successful in this one. And if I'm the defensive coordinator, I'm done with this, right? I have no answers for anything. In fact, I'd probably send a note to the clock operator, let it run.
After the touchdown, Sloman to do the kickoff honors. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And he's probably realizing he should have stayed in the end zone as he can only muster a return to the 14-yard line.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not where they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. A big play there on the catch and run.
Well, this game is certainly pretty well over. They can go ahead and mark it in the win column. But as a defense, they don't want to get so soft now that everybody just throws the ball all over the place against them, gets big yardage, and puts points on the board. They have pride, too, on that side of the ball.
On 1st and 10, here's Murray. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
To throw again on 2nd down. Murray. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. Now Murray's got to have this one. Steps away to the sideline, and he's got it. They say the feet are down. Yes, the line judge says they're in. That'll be a 1st down. And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late. But he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man. Even though he was forced from the pocket, still able to adjust, make the long throw, and it ends with a really big touchdown.
Yeah, moving to his left. The key to everything when they're moving outside of the pocket, doesn't matter which side, making sure those shoulders get around and you get back square so you can get everything on the throw and create the big play we just saw there downfield.
And he'll get into the end zone as the 2-point conversion is successful. Needed a couple yards for the 2-point try. They go to the ground game, and it works.
And sometimes it's the exact right thing to do because a lot of teams play you for the pass, so you spread people out, decide to run the football, you often find good running lanes.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation.
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And they're going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. I think it's fair to say there's nothing